Week 0 is here, and we are kicking off with one of the oldest rivalries in college football. Iowa State is taking on Kansas State. James, did you know that this is one of the oldest rivalries in all of college football, and it is the only never interrupted rivalry in college football history? They have played every
Wow.
single season since 1917.
Wow.
James, who you got in this one?
So you're telling me these two teams, man, anyone else, if you would have said an in-state team, like in-state rivals, I would have believed you. But you're telling me these two teams have played consecutively since 1917. They've been
Yeah.
through the Depression, Civil War, slavery, Barack Obama,
Hang on,
Trump.
pause. Not slavery. Not
Oh,
not slavery.
oh, bro, they've been through for a long time.
It's not that old. It's not that old of a freaking rivalry. But I will say, we were getting Iowa State versus Kansas State before we ever had a world war.
Man.
This is true. Yeah, these World Wars, 1940s and stuff. Jeez. Well,
But
1922
Spence
to be
and
exact.
Giselle, my fault. I'll get back on track. You said who I have in this game. Well, luckily, this game has thrown me into a loop, just kind of like all the other things I've been mentioning. But hey, this game's in Dublin, and last year we had a good game. We had outright underdog winner in Georgia Tech over Florida State. I'm not gonna lie, Spence. Both teams returning starting quarterbacks, head coaching. Those guys are gonna be top tier. What I'm looking for is, can Iowa State throw the ball? Obviously, Jalen all went to the NFL, and so we got that going on with the Texans. And now,
Mhm.
it's like, who is the quarterback going to throw it to? I don't know. Right now for me, the two biggest questions, obviously Iowa State and the receiving game, but number two is, can we get an upgraded like level of play from Avery Johnson? We saw a little bit of him 2 years ago in the bowl game, had a lot of high expectations, played decently, but not good enough to, maybe scratch a Big 12 title. Right now, they're the favorites to win the conference. But I'm not going to lie, Spencer Giselle, I'm going 2 picks. I'm going to go Iowa State plus 3.5 because Matt Campbell, head coach, I know one thing. He knows how to coach a dirty, slow,
Mhm.
rugged game, and the under 49.5, because if Iowa State's not throwing the ball, they're running the ball. And I think their running back's a little bit better than Kansas State's. I know Avery
Yeah.
Johnson's going to be running a bit as well. So that's just going to eat a lot of clock up. And of course, the game, we got about 8%, I think, 8% win coming inward. And the game's supposed to be about 60 degrees at kickoff. So it's going to be a cold game. So I can't wait, man.
Yeah. One thing I'm looking for, you mentioned they've lost several of their wide receivers. They're both playing for the Houston Texans now, Jalen Noel,
Woo.
Jaden Higgins. But I've read up on Matt Campbell's history. He used to
Mm.
be heavy into using his tight ends. And so that is what I'm expecting. I'm with you,
Ah.
James. I think that Iowa State, they returned their quarterback. I like their quarterbacks a little bit more than Kansas State's. Rocco Becht, I think he's going to have a solid game. And I think those tight ends get involved. I think Iowa State wins outright in
Mm.
Dublin. Giselle, who you got in this one? Iowa State, Kansas State.
3 for 3, Iowa State. Iowa
Oh, we're
State is
screwed.
is one of those teams where it's in the Big 12 conference. So I low key hate to see them coming because U of H Cougar all the way.
Go Cougs.
But their football dynasty has been nasty the last couple seasons. So proofs in the pudding. Houston Texans snatched up not one, but two of Iowa State players, and that says a lot. That speaks a volume. So for me, I'm going to go Iowa State. I mean, this small little state school, whatever it may be, they are funneling a lot of pro players. So they must have a great program going on.
Another fun thing to look at in this game, and trust me, this is a weird thing that Iowa State does. Obviously, we know their colors. You want to call it red and yellow, red and gold, whatever. But I swear to God, Giselle and Spence, they're the only football team I know that does not wear their true colors. All they wear is black and white, black and gray. I don't know what funeral shows up every Saturday in Iowa State, but those are the only colors they use. It's been a while since I've seen them play in their actual colors. But this Saturday, if they come out in black and white, you hit me up.
Yeah, it is crazy that Iowa State has, Giselle, you mentioned it. They've kind of come on strong over the last like 5-7 years. When growing up, I always thought Iowa State, they were just a skid mark on the underpants of the Big 12 conference. I was never
Yeah.
really taking them seriously. But in this rivalry here, Iowa State's won 4 of the last matchups with Kansas State. And that right there, I didn't know that until I just now read it. I won't lie, that makes me a little bit more nervous, but I still am going to keep riding with Iowa State because I think it's their time. But y'all let us know in the comments who you got in week 0. College football is back in Dublin this weekend. Who you got in that game?